We're learning to love you better with Queenie Brown.
Hey ladies, it's me, Queenie Brown, and I'm glad you decided to join me again on Self Love TV. Well, today I had an interesting question posed to me. A friend of mine asked, do we say I love you too casually? And boy, was that a loaded question, because I have actually found myself in situations where someone has said to me, I love you, and just out of habit or out of just not wanting to not say I love you back, I have just in a moment responded by saying I love you. And when I said it, I knew in my spirit, I knew deep inside that that wasn't a genuine thing that I was saying. I remember a time when that was reserved. You didn't say I love you unless you meant it. And I can remember dating, and you'd be seeing a guy for so long and you just can't wait until he says those words. You can't wait to share those words with someone else. And the truth of the matter is, you might want to say it, but do you really know what it means to say I love you? And so of course it brought up the question, obviously we're saying it very casually, but do we really even understand what it means? Some people think that love is an emotion, or it's a feeling, or it's something that you feel deeply. But the truth of the matter is that it's impossible to understand what love is unless you understand who love is and who God is. And so let's talk about it. Why do we say love casually, or I love you casually? Well, gosh, I've been married now for 11 and a half years, and my husband and I have been together for 16. And I can remember, back when I was in the dating scene, you would want to hear that person tell you that they love you, or you'd want to share those same emotions. But when I think about the way that it was back then, and I know things have changed up until now and a whole lot's different, but generally you only say I love you under certain circumstances. And one would be as a pressured response. A woman might tell a man she loves him because, oh my goodness, this is the man of my dreams and he swept me off my feet. And then because the man felt pressured, he would in turn respond by saying I love you too to a woman. Well, that was one way that we would be casually using those words. Another would be to manipulate. I know that back in those days, a man would tell you he loves you because he wants to get a little something from you. And, chances are it would work for a lot of men, so they continued to do it, and eventually it became so casual that, you know what, if I have to tell her I love her in order to get what I want, then I'm going to manipulate her and do what needs to be done to get my goal accomplished. And then, of course, nowadays people use it as just a passing goodbye or hello, hey, I love you. We say it all the time. But I'm starting to become, since my friend asked me this question, I'm starting to become a lot more cognizant of the fact that I say this word, and I'm trying to be more sensitive to when I use it and if I'm being genuine and true when I use it. For instance, because of my calling, because I've been called to teach women and men about self-love and to share this whole message about love in its entirety, I have a very heightened level of compassion for people. In my heart of hearts, I can't communicate to you enough how it moves me to see the love that is lacking in the world, and to see the pain that we as women are struggling with, and the pain that men are struggling with, and children. It saddens me to my core to realize how much we are lacking true, honest, unconditional, unchallenged, never failing love. And so because I see the lack, and I moved from a place of compassion to give love to everyone that I meet. And so I find myself wanting to give that love and speak that word, I love you, into people's lives. And so it may not come from a romantic love kind of place. It may, for me, be coming from a place of more of compassion and more understanding and genuine adoration. And so it's difficult for me to discern the difference because of my calling. But when I hear people in my world just say, love you, see you, love you, bye, love you, just that constant, just that flippant kind of I love you, it makes me wonder, have we really lost sight of what it means to say I love you? And so when my friend asked me this question, it made me think, wow, maybe we have lost it. Maybe we never really fully understood love to begin with. When you think about the word love and you ask people what they think of the word love and what it means to them, many people will say, oh, it's a feeling, or it's an emotion, or it's something that grows over time. It's when you can't stop thinking about a person, and they come with all these things. And then of course you get super spiritual people who will say love is patient, love is kind, love is all these things that are in the Bible, which is beautiful, but does it really give you the fullness of what love is? And my thought is, if in fact we fully understood love, there's no way we would be casually just handing it out. The words just wouldn't fall out of our mouths without a heavy thought, because the word in and of itself implies a level of sacrifice. When you think of it from the Bible, you think, for God so loved the world that he gave his only son. So that means he had to have such a level of adoration and such a level of devotion and focused commitment and sacrifice in order to be willing to sacrifice his only. And so do you feel that way about the people that you're telling I love you to on a daily basis? And if not, then maybe you might want to find a different way to communicate what it is you're truly feeling and reserve that heavy, weighty love for those who are deserving of it. And why is that important? Because we need to get back to the original intent. We need to get back to what love is really about. And my job here is to teach you about self-love, but I just believe it's not possible to even discuss self-love without first understanding what love is, and then learning to apply that very love towards yourself in an effort to build you up so that you're able to continue to give that very same love to those that you meet in your world. And so we talk about love and we talk about self-love. There are multiple different types of relationships, and we're going to go into all of that throughout this journey. This by no means is a one-stop shop. You cannot fully grasp this whole concept of love or self-love in 1, 3, 5, 7-minute setting. But what I do want to do is I want to lay the foundation for you to be able to fully get a hold of what love is, so that you're able to apply it to yourself in all the 7 areas of your life. Love is this wonderful, beautiful concept that is consistently giving to us, and it's important that we fully understand it, so that when we in turn give that same love outwardly, we're able to do that the way that it was originally intended. So today's question again was, do we say I love you too casually? And my answer is absolutely. So let's all together learn about love, learn how to love yourself, learn how to give that love back to others the way that it was intended, so that when you say I love you, you know you mean it. This has been the Self-Love Lesson on Self-Love TV. I'm Queenie Brown, and until next time, I'll be loving me, and I pray that you'll be loving you.
You're learning to love you better with Queenie Brown.